Okay, review, take two. Simplify. So that is not up on the board, so we need to divide into it by the numbers from the board. Also these numbers here. So 252, we'd start at 225, fail. Divided by 196, fail. 169, fail. 144, nope. Nope. It's not going to divide by 100 unless it ends in two zeros. Nope. 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 Finally, okay. So I put 36 and 7 in those square roots. The square root of 36 is 6, so that's 6 square root 7. Okay, square root of 4 is up there, just put equals 2. You don't start dividing when it's a perfect square. So 30, well, it doesn't divide by 25 or 16 or 9 or 4, so we're circling it. Okay, you need to simplify these radicals here. So the square root of 49, the square root of x to the first, because that's a 1 there, and the square root of y to the 11th. This one's kind of a weird one. Now, 49, I don't need to start dividing because 49 is up there. It equals 7, and when that happens, that's out. 7's out, nothing's in. So x to the first, well, I just have one x, and I wouldn't be able to bring any x's to the top, so we just leave that x in the radical. Now, y to the 11th, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so y to the top, a full factor of y, another full factor of y, another full factor of y, and then another full factor of y. And then this guy here stays inside. So that's 5 factors of y, so y to the power of 5. Okay, we're going to do the multiplying first, okay? I kind of threw a curveball, okay? Multiplying is 1, 2, and 3. You don't need the insides to be the same when you're multiplying, okay? So first we take 10 times 2, that's 20, and then we make our square root. 3 times 5 is 15. Now we need to simplify the square root of 15. So 15 divided by 9 doesn't work. 15 divided by 4 doesn't work. So it's 1 and then I'm done. I can't divide by anything, so I'm done at that point. So I don't, step 2 and 3 are irrelevant. Okay, now adding. Adding's different than multiplying. You have to add, to do the adding operation, the numbers under the radicals have to be the same. They are not. So we are going to make this table with the intention of getting those to match up. Okay, so 8. Start dividing. Okay, so 8 by 4 would work, okay, because 8 divided by 4 is 2. So I drop the 5, and then I make 2 square roots, and then I put 4 and 2. So the square root of 4 is 2, and I take 5 times 2 now, and that would be 10 square root 2. Then the square root of 32. So 32 divisible by 25, nope. By 16, you betcha. So drop your 6. And then you rewrite that in 2 square roots. So you put 16 and 2. Square root of 16 is 4. So I take 6 times 4 now, and that would be 24 square root 2. And now the insides are the same. So I write square root 2 down, and I add 10 plus 24. That would be 34. 34 square roots of 2. Okay, right triangle, solving for the sides, and 45, 45, 90. So I have a ratio, I don't need sine, cosine, tangent, okay? I use these ratios. So we know we have side 8, so I need 8 in both proportions. Here I'll solve for x, here I'll solve for y. Now across from the right angle, the hypotenuse is proportional to the square root of 2. And then the 45s are proportional to 1. So 8 is proportional to the square root of 2, y is proportional to 1. Or x is proportional to 1. X, y, same thing, okay? So here's what I'd multiply. I'd multiply 8 by 1. That's 8. And then I divide it by the square root of 2. But you can't take a non-square root divided by a square root. So you get rid of the square root. So it's 8 divided by 2. But now the square root of 2 comes up top. So 8 divided by 2 is 4 with the square root of 2. And that's what x equals. And then y is going to be the same thing, because if you look at the proportion, it's exactly the same as here. Okay, my next one, now it's a 60, 30, 90, but again, I know that lines up in a ratio. So again, the only time we don't use sine, cosine, tangent for these. So 9x, 9y. So across from the right angle is proportional to 2. So x is proportional to 2. Across from the 60 is proportional to the square root of 3. Then across from the 30 is proportional to 1. Okay. So 9 is proportional to the square root of 3, and x is proportional to 2. Okay, so we take 9 times 2, that's going to be 18, divided by the square root of 3. Well, we have that same problem where we can't divide, so I get rid of the square root, so I have 18 divided by 3 as long as I put a square root of 3 on top. So 18 divided by 3 is 6 with the square root of 3. So x equals 6 square root 3. Now, 9 is proportional to the square root of 3, y is proportional to 1. And then we're going to end up with that same problem, okay? So 9 times 1 is 9, divided by the square root of 3. So we can get rid of the square root, so we have 9 divided by 3 as long as I put the square root of 3 on top. So 9 divided by 3 is 3, square root 3. Okay, and that's what we have. Those are your side lengths. Okay, find the 3 trig ratios of the given angle. So, sine is O to H. You're just finding the ratios and you're done with the problem. So we know 2 of the sides, so the H we don't know. So we have to find the numbers that go in for all 3. I reference that, and my O is 14. So the O, we're going to put 14 and then 14 here. And then finally the A we know is 16, so 16, 16. So we have the tangent done. We just got to find the H. So if I know 2 sides but not the other, we use the Pythagorean Theorem. So A squared plus O squared equals H squared. So A is 16, so I take 16 to the power of 2. And then O, we know that's 14 to the power of 2, and then I'm finding the H. So I take both these to the second power. That doesn't mean 16 times 2, it means 16 times 16. So that's 256. 14 times 14 is 196. Okay, and then you add those together. You don't subtract them, you add them. 452, because they're on the same side, you just add them. Get rid of the second power and find the square root of 452. You can round on these. Okay, 21.26. So H is equal to 21.26. So just put that in for your H. That's your sine. And that's the cosine. Okay, now you got to find the 3 sides and the 3 angle measurements. The sides are the hardest, okay? And it is not a 30, 60, 90, nor is it a 45, 45, 90, okay? So, what we're going to have to do when we do our proportions, there has to be some angle that's going to be 22 degrees over 1, okay? So that's the other way to set it up if it's not either one of these two. So H, we don't know the H, okay, I'll find that here. We don't know the A either, so I'll find that here. And the O I know. So because I know O is 14, I put O with each one of these, okay? So H and O would be me using the sine function. A and O would be me using the tangent function. So sine is OH, O on top, H on bottom, and then tangents O on top with A on the bottom. Okay, so I put my 14 in for both of my O's. And now I can solve using cross multiplication and division. So I would multiply 14 by 1, and then I would underline your 14, divide it by the sine of 22. And that's what your H is equal to. $37.37. Makes sense. The H is the longest side. Okay, now let's go find the A. So 1 times 14 is 14, divided by tan, 22. And that's to be divided like that. If you get 0 point something, you're doing it wrong. Okay, 34.65. Now the A is close to the H, but H is the king. Okay, H should be the longest. Okay, the angles, you have a 90. That's how you can use all this stuff, because it's 90 and then you have 22. Then I take 100 minus 90 minus 22. 68 degrees. Okay, then the regular polygon. Okay. What we have here is a pentagon. Okay. So, remember the formula. It's S times N times A divided by 2. Now, what's all this stuff mean? S is the side length, so 40 is the side length. Every side's 40. It's regular, so 40, 40, 40, 40. Then N is the number of sides, so that would be 5. And then A is that apothem. So, it'd be nice if I could write the apothem, and it's just forms a right angle with the base. If I could just write that as an adjacent side of a triangle. So by the way, get rid of this and put 20. Now I got to figure out how many degrees are in that angle. So the degrees is taking 360 divided by n. Remember, n's a number of sides, so we have 5 sides divided by 2. Now I'm going to explain why that works the way it does on this other paper. You don't have to take notes, so it's 36 degrees. I'm going to explain why that's 36. Because if I made a bunch of triangles that all met at the middle, these angles all go around in a circle, meaning they're 360 degrees. Okay. Now, there are 5 of them, so to find one of the angles, I would divide by 5. But since a triangle is only half that, I divide by 2. Okay, that's how that works. Okay, not a 30, 60, 90, so you make your 36 degrees over 1, and you got to use a sine, a cosine, or a tangent. Okay, remember, I want to figure out the A. Now, what's the other side I know? Well, it ain't H, okay? O, I know O is 20, so it's A and O. A and O is tangent, okay? And remember, that's O on top, A on bottom. So we're trying to figure out the A. We know the O is 20. So to find how long that side A is, we take 1 times 20 divided by the tan of 36 degrees. Okay, I got 27.5. I don't really care how you round it personally. If you put it 28, that's fine. So now I take 40 times 5 times 27.5, click equals, and then I divide that product by 2. So 2,750 square feet. Because we're finding the area inside of it, how many square units are inside of it, that many feet.